Tim Broadcaster confirms Jimmy Butler's live interaction with Reggie Miller as Warriors' star levels feel of his Rockets. Okay, so here's the thing. Game 1 between the Warriors and the Rockets wasn't just basketball. It was a full-on playoff drama with everything you could ask for. Buckets? Check. Big-time plays? Check. Trash talk? Oh, you better believe it. But the moment that had everyone jumping off their couches, yeah, that was all Jimmy Butler. And no, it wasn't just about what he did on the court, it was who he said it to. First off, let's talk about the scoreboard real quick. Warriors beat the Rockets 95-85 and took the early lead in this series. Stephen Curry was out there doing Stephen Curry things, lighting it up with 31 points like it was just another Sunday. But honestly, the storyline that stole the night wasn't about Steph. It was Jimmy's moment and what he said to a certain someone sitting courtside. Alright, so here's how it all went down. Jimmy's out there in his Warriors playoff debut being all business as usual. He's putting up a solid line-minus 25 points, 7 boards, 6 dimes, and he's getting dirty on defense with 5 steals. You could just tell he was in his zone. But then he pulls up from deep, drains a smooth 3, and right as he's backpedaling, he locks eyes with the Tint broadcast booth and says it. Loud. Clear. You like that? Boom. That was for Reggie Miller. Now why is that a big deal? Because this ain't just some random line. Jimmy and Reggie, they got a little history. A weird kind of back and forth over the years, filled with respect, shade, and some good old competitive energy. Reggie's talked him up before, called that 56-point Miami Heat masterclass in 2023 the greatest playoff performance by any Heat player ever. Yeah, over Dwayne Wade and LeBron. That's not light praise. The game was a battle, but Warriors' defense stayed strong. Now if you zoom back out for a sec, this game had way more to it than just that highlight. The Rockets actually came out looking hungry. Alperen Sengun even threw down this nasty dunk on Draymond Green that had the whole arena rocking. But the Warriors didn't blink. They stuck to the plan, played that signature suffocating defense, and slowly squeezed the life out of Houston's offense. Curry, as always, was the heartbeat. He hit the shots that mattered. Brandon Podziemski stepped in like he's been here before, snatching 8 boards. But again, Jimmy was that steady presence. He kept the energy up, made smart passes, and made sure the team stayed in rhythm. Here's the fun part. Jimmy and Reggie, they've been circling each other for years. Reggie's been on tape analyzing Jimmy's every move, and you can tell it's never just surface level. He's praised Jimmy for his killer instinct. And it's not just praise. Reggie's backed Jimmy up when everyone else was doubting him. Like that moment in the 2022 conference finals when Butler took that controversial game-winning 3 and missed. People were quick to rip him apart. But Reggie? He stood tall and said, you go for the kill shot when you have the moment. That's what real hoopers do. They trust their gut. But it hasn't all been cozy. Back in 2020, when Jimmy caught a flagrant for crowding Chris Middleton's landing space, Reggie didn't hold back. He criticized the rule more than Jimmy Butler himself, but you could feel the frustration. That's the thing. Reggie's old school. He sees himself in guys like Jimmy. Competitive. Unapologetic. Not scared to take heat. So now we're headed into Game 2. That's Wednesday, April 23. The Warriors have the lead, the momentum, and Butler is already stirring the pot. If Game 1 was a warm-up, Game 2 could be straight-up fireworks. The Rockets will come out swinging. They have to. With the Warriors, they've got Jimmy locked in, Steph looking vintage, and a defense that just punched Houston in the mouth. And you better believe Reggie will be courtside again, probably hoping Jimmy talks to him again. Let's be real. With this kind of energy, this kind of drama, and this level of talent on the court, how are we not going to be locked in for every second? So yeah, Jimmy Butler showed out, and sent a message to an old commentator buddy. But more importantly, he reminded everyone watching that when it's playoff time, Jimmy's not just playing ball. He's writing headlines.